You lost your way, and it's safe to say that nothing could keep you here with me, and it's what you do. Overcomplicate every conversation ends with you. You never show me love, so I think of giving up.
What's good, SNS Nation? It's your girl Brit. And no, my baby Sam is not with me today. She is out working. I am off due to COVID-19. I think that's what they call it, right? I think I said it right. Sam will be super upset if I didn't say it right because she is super serious about precautions. So the reason that I am here by myself is because in addition to doing this crazy hair that I have been trying different things out on throughout this time off, I want to just be straightening it today. However, I have like these little twisty things in. I've been just trying to do kind of just as much as I can to keep busy. So I've been trying different things. But I am going to drop my coming out story for you all. If you watched our Q&A, you should have. If you didn't, go do it. And if you did watch our Q&A, then you know that Sam and I basically have two completely different, I guess, ways of coming out, I guess I would say, or like two completely different, times and everything. So like I said, go watch the Q&A, but we thought it best to give you our coming out story separately. So I'm here, gonna just jump right into it. Before I do, make sure you like, comment, and most of all, subscribe. We're going to try to drop as many videos as we possibly can, so make sure you also hit those post notifications so you know when we dropping a hit and you don't miss it. So I am just going to get right into it. Ooh, this one got me a little nervous, surprisingly. So I think, and I'm only saying this compared to the people who I hang around with or know, that I came out kind of young compared to most people, or not most people, but most people that I know. And I started identifying myself and what I liked at a young age. To make a long story short, just to, put it out there, there was a movie called Life Size. For those of you who don't know, Life Size is a movie where a doll baby comes to life. I think it was one of the first movies that actually featured, I think a black Barbie. So it was also something that, just about all girls my age, in my culture, saw and went to go see around that time. And it was super cool. Not only did this Barbie doll turn into a life-size doll, but she was also Tyra Banks. And we all know Tyra Banks, especially, I'm a 90s baby, especially back in those days, she was a force to be reckoned with. So, I love that movie, but I noticed that the reason that I loved that movie was because of Tyra Banks. I was obsessed with her. At this time, everybody was popping all of the magazine rip-outs, posters on their wall. There was Bow Wow ones and Romeo ones, just to put you in a mind frame of what time this was. And I would have Tyra Banks, Aaliyah, Sierra, those were the people who I liked. Don't get me wrong, every female, supported the females and loved to have females out there. However, I just noticed it. I always, use verbiage they're pretty, or they're so gorgeous, or and it was just a different vibe when I saw a pretty female than when I guess I saw a handsome male. But I don't remember, like, you know, I thought Bow Wow was that cute, like, you know, like everybody else. However, my friends do tell me these days that, you know, he was also, you know, a little more feminine, you know, he also had hair, and, you know, so, I mean, I have no idea, you know, maybe that was my straight side coming out, but long story short is, like, love females, always need to be around females, always wanted to, you know, be close to them, hug them, love them, admire them, as much as I could. So around, when did it start becoming relevant? Around high school, I would say. So I would still say I was still having these, I wouldn't call them urges necessarily, but I was still having these thoughts about women, you know, in like, middle school, or maybe close to the end of middle school is when I actually started like even talking about it. So close to the end of middle school, I, you know, started to explore a little more. That's that age where, you know, you're going to high school, you start to hang, you know, with people who you feel like are, you know, more into what you're into, and not just people who, you know, you've been like set up to play with or hang around, I guess, because, you know, your parents put you all there, I guess. So I started to know myself and, you know, who I wanted to hang with. So by the time high school came, I had like, you know, a little bit of a clique, I'd say. Like I, you know, hung around certain people. Little did I know that, you know, these people would not be the same people that I would honestly be most closest with towards the end. So I started hanging with some people, and at this time there was like, I don't know if there was other like feminine women in my school who were also into women, but for the most part we had like studs who were at our school who were kind of, for the most part, pretty popular, I would say. I'm not sure if I was the end of a 90s baby where people had already come to, you know, a little bit of time, don't get me wrong, it was super like, woo, like, you know, super on the DL, you know, there were certain people who you wouldn't even see talking to these people in public, like, all of that. So to get back to me, long story short is, I liked females, I wanted to talk to females, but, you know, I was still dating guys at this time, I guess you would say dating. I was around 14, so, you know, whatever kind of serious relationship you would have at that time is what I was having. I can't downplay one of my middle to high school relationships, I would say. He definitely meant something to me. Definitely was a point where I even started to question, like, hey, I know you've been having these feelings since you were like 7 years old, but, you know, you really like this guy. You kind of like, you know, you've been really comfortable with this guy, you know, for, you know, who knows how long kind of thing. So maybe it's not what you think. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can do this. Like, you can do this. You can be regular. You can just, like, stop having these thoughts. You can be normal. You can be regular, kind of situation. And so we dated, me and this guy, we dated, still close friends. But we dated through, should have probably had these facts ready before I got on camera with you all, sorry. The end of middle school to the beginning of high school. And kind of, he was one of the breaking points, I believe, in that kind of got me to fess up to what I actually wanted, or to do what I actually wanted to do, because he genuinely liked me, or I would say loved me, and or thought he loved me, and I thought I loved him, and we're gonna get to this stuff. Okay, forget all that because I don't want to get emotional. So, long story short is, there was a guy, he was there, he was important. I had a best friend. Me and his best friend, we called each other wife all the time. Like, oh, that's my wife, there's my wife, there's my wife. Like, oh, where's my wife, kind of thing. At this time, I was really close with my cousin. I do have other siblings, but none who were female, who grew up kind of at the same age and time with me. So for the most part, I just grew up with my brothers, and then, you know, I have cousins, people that I confided in, you know, things like that. So when I used to hang around in school, mostly it would just be with friends. So my best friend, we're gonna keep that name unknown right now. We were very close. We used to write each other letters, you know, the normal things that girls do in school. She also had a sister who we were very close with, and her sister and my cousin had kind of like clicked up, like became like best friends throughout school. So it wasn't, you know, irregular for people to call each other wives who, you know, hadn't necessarily established what it was or stuff like that, because like, you know, for most films, one of the things we always use when someone tries to, you know, court us or talk to us when we are out is, hey, okay, this is my girlfriend, kind of thing. So it really wasn't irregular to call a female your wife. It wasn't irregular at all to do so. So we did that. After a while, I don't know, our letters got a little spicy. I had already been having these thoughts and feelings for women since who knows who. We never really discussed how long she was having those thoughts, but we were both having thoughts. Yeah, those thoughts. And we started to put them in the word form. You know, think you're really pretty, you know, what would happen if, you know, you really were, you know, my girlfriend, what would really happen if you really were this. So we started to go into the ifs and whats and shoulds and what abouts and nah, and nah. So, you know, as normal friends do, we decided to have a sleepover one weekend, and we always slept together in the same bed. It was a normal thing. It wasn't weird. I mean, sometimes we would do the head to foot thing, I guess, but then sometimes we would just, you know, as friends, you know, maybe fall asleep up there next to each other. So it wasn't weird at all. And one day, this friend, what's her name? And I wouldn't even blame it on her. She decided to stay over. So while she stayed over, we did some of those things that we talked about doing, and some of those letters that we were writing. We was talking about it. We was doing what we said we was going to do, because we were talking about doing it in the letters. So we did it. So whatever we thought that was doing it at the time, a lot more advanced now than I was then, obviously, but whatever it was clearly something special. Now at this time, I still had this important guy who was there, and I was actually feeling a little like, I'm gonna say this because it's like when you watch it, but I was feeling a little like claustrophobic. Like, I had moved schools at this time. My mom had recently divorced and moved to the Virginia area, so we initially started off at one school, but, you know, when my mom got her feet on the ground, we went to, you know, the school that we were going to go to, you know, moving forward. I met this important guy at the first school that I ever went to in Virginia that was short-lived, that we only went to for about, I don't know, I want to say 6 months. So this important guy was important enough that my mom see fit to, you know, just like acknowledge him as an important guy, and also helped him see me upon occasion. So at this time, about 15, 16, and he'd come over to the house and like play basketball with my brothers, and by the time I used to have house parties, anybody who is a loyal person knows exactly what was going down. So long story short, I used to have house parties and he'd be there all the time, you know. Everybody kind of knew he's my important guy. At one of these parties, my important girl decided to come to one of these parties as well. Now, usually, we're getting about these things apart. Not that they didn't know about each other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they didn't know about each other. What I'm saying is, well, he didn't know about her. She knew about him. But I was just pretty good at keeping these things apart. You know, like, hey, you know, I'm doing this weekend kind of thing, you know. Come here this weekend, you know, thing. So, this was the first time that they ever had kind of like overlapped. And to me it wasn't weird at all, because in my head this friend knew, you know, what was going on with this important guy, so shouldn't have any problems. It should be fine. It should be good. That should be good. It should be fine. It should be good. That should be fine. Right? As an explanation, I should be fine. So I'm guessing the Dorito chips and Huggy Juices started to go to our heads. Because once they started to go to our heads, me and this friend, my best friend at the time, we got a little loose. We got a little comfortable with each other. And we ended up making out. So we ended up making out. I think we like tried to like go to the side of the like hallway, because we used to like have like house parties. So like if you went to like the hallway to lead out the front door, so you were leaving, you know, there's always a little cut, a little something. So we're standing there, we're talking, things are getting heated, you know. So we get to making out, and that's not fizzing. And this important guy catches us. He walks right up to us, and I'm gonna tell you what. To be a 15, 16 something year old girl who thought that you didn't know what love was or is, this man was so hurt. His eyes, everything, just his demeanor, just his everything was just like, what kind of thing? And I was like, what kind of thing? And she was like, yeah, kind of thing. So to get back to the story, he's standing there, and as every single man has ever said who does not believe that a woman is into other sexes, he said, do it again. He said, do it again. I said, do what again? He said, we just kissed her, kiss again. If you like her, kiss her again. And I went in my head to instantly say, I don't like her. But it didn't come out that way. I do like her came out. It came out, y'all. It came out. I do like her came out. And she kind of gave me that look. Like this is the time, you know, this is the time for you to make your choice. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Where you want to be? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Just kidding, nobody was coming for me. But this guy was hurt. Like, he was hurt, and I'm a Sagittarius, so yeah, I can be direct and a little, you know, at times, but to see somebody emotionally hurt, it was a lot for me to kind of, you know, yeah, you know, even though I know that I know, you know, exactly what I wanted, you know, kind of that. So, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm making this story time so long. So, what do you guys think I did? I kissed her. And he stood there, and she stood there. She was happy. He was sad. And that was the last day that I believe I actually saw that important guy in that time frame. Obviously, years later, it's been so like, oh God, just counting the years makes me know how old I am. It's been over 14, 15 years now, and me and this guy are still friends. So shout out to him for being the bigger person, considering I was super trifo. But yeah, so that happened. So me and that friend, we actually became an item, and we dated. We did date for the most part, I would say, on the low. But high school was super cool for me. High school was super cool. Like, I went to a high school where your whole neighborhood went to that high school. Like, if somebody who didn't live in your neighborhood went to that high school, it was super weird, and you like knew who they were, and you knew everybody. Long story short, so my high school was super cool in the fact that everybody knew everybody, you know, in school and outside of school. So when you saw certain people, you knew what was okay and what wasn't okay. So I was definitely like super out in high school. Like, everybody knew that I dated one man, I had a girlfriend. Just about all of my time spent in high school, I had a girlfriend, and I was out. However, at this time, as much as I love my family, they were not as open as, you know, I'd like them to have been, but that's a struggle for a lot of people. And that's a whole nother part 2 story time for you all in this coming out story, because I know it's getting pretty long. But yeah, so I had a girlfriend, and I was out in high school, but when people saw me out, they knew, you know, what kind of conversations to have me, what kind of demeanor to have. And so that is part 1 of my coming out story. Sorry, you all, it was so long, but I will do part 2 for you all here as soon as I can, because there is some juicy stuff coming, a little bit emotionally for me, so that's why I didn't want to put it in this vlog. But we are going to talk about it. I'm going to get you guys involved, so make sure you subscribe, like, comment, make sure you show your girl Brit some love in her individual video coming out. Let me know if I talked too long, because I probably did. I love y'all. I'm out.